I'm Greg, and welcome to my gregarious world. If you want to join us on our 51-day adventure in the South Pacific, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell. Hula! This morning, Karen and I got up early to see the Zaandam arrive at Lautoka, which is Fiji's second largest port after Suva. It was just 235 nautical miles from our last stop in Suva, making for a quick overnight trip along the coast of the island of Viti Levu, where both cities are located. Unlike the bustling capital of Suva, Lautoka has a more laid-back atmosphere, with fewer tall buildings and less colonial architecture. As we neared the dock, the sight of shipping containers reminded us of Suva's busy port. We were greeted by a lively scene of pop-up tents, where local vendors and tour operators enthusiastically showcased their products and unique experiences. A complimentary shuttle bus was available to take us from the port to the city center, or you can walk it easily in about 20 minutes. Our first destination was the lively Lautoka Municipal Market, filled with local vendors offering fresh fruits, handmade crafts, seafood, spices, and waka root. As we entered the handicrafts section of the market, we passed by a large stand selling waka root. The root is ground into a powder used to prepare kava, known as yakona in Fiji. Kava is a traditional drink that has been enjoyed for centuries in the Pacific Islands and is known for its relaxing and medicinal properties. Karen and I strolled through the market's abundant produce section. We came across a stand selling fresh apples, watermelons, and mini pineapples. Intrigued, we decided to sample some pineapple. We're at the market in Lautoka, Fiji. For a morning snack, we bought a little piece of pineapple for 50 cents Fijian, or about 25 cents US. Juicy and sweet. The market had a section dedicated to some interesting snack options, including candy, popcorn, and nuts. We stopped at a cart offering jalebi, a popular Indian treat made from a flour batter that's fried and soaked in sweet syrup. So we're still in the farmer's market here in Lautoka. We saw a lot of children eating these. We found them at a little candy stand. They're actually quite good. It tastes a little bit like sweet and sour sauce on a crunchy pretzel type base. And the cost was 4 pieces for $1 Fijian, which is about 50 cents US. After that, Karen and I wandered over to the seafood market, where we were taken aback by the incredible freshness of the seafood. Some of it was still wriggling. As we stepped outside the market to head to our next destination, the Lautoka Botanical Gardens of the South Pacific, we carefully navigated around the smaller vendors who had set up their colorful displays of fruits and vegetables along the sidewalk. During the previous night's Q&A session, our cruise director had suggested visiting the Botanical Gardens. The gardens were about a 20-minute walk from the market. However, when we reached the Krishna Kaliya Temple, we bumped into some fellow passengers returning from the gardens. They warned us that the gardens were underwhelming and were swarming with mosquitoes. Considering the uphill walk ahead and our desire to avoid insect bites, we opted to head back to town instead. We decided to stop at a local grocery store that we had just passed by. Next to the grocery store, we noticed a little bakery called the Hot Bread Kitchen. Karen and I went into the bakery and couldn't resist the aroma of freshly baked scones and had to purchase one. So we're sitting outside the West Point grocery store, and we went to the Hot Bread Kitchen there over on the side. We bought some cream scones for $2.75 Fijian, so that would be about $1.40 or $1.30 US.
Mmm, delicious.
After finishing our scone, we headed into the grocery store to grab a bottle of water.
So here we are, still outside the supermarket, and we bought a bottle of Fiji water. So we're going to have Fiji water while we're in Fiji.
As we made our way back to town, we kept an eye out for a spot with free Wi-Fi. We had purchased a Wi-Fi package on the ship, which worked decently, but struggled with uploading photos.
So we're at the Western Regional Library here in Lautoka, Fiji, and the reason we're here is to check out their free Wi-Fi, which apparently is not very fast, but I guess we'll be the judge of that when we try and download some photos.
The library's Wi-Fi was okay for checking emails, but it still didn't have the speed necessary for larger file uploads. Karen and I returned to the city center and headed into Tapu City Mall, where we stopped by Coffee Hub and the food court. We enjoyed some coffee and a tasty quesadilla while using the excellent Wi-Fi we found there. Afterward, we hopped on the complimentary shuttle bus in front of Jack's of Fiji department store to get back to the cruise port. We searched high and low in both Suva and Lautoka for the elusive Fijian $7 bill, only to find it being sold by a vendor at the port for $10 each. While it felt like a bit of a scam, we couldn't resist the charm of having these unique souvenirs to remember our trip. At dinner that evening, Karen opted for the sesame chicken with sweet chili as her appetizer, while I went for the Pacific seafood ceviche, the port-to-plate selection that evening. For our main courses, I enjoyed the sautéed veal tenderloin, and Karen chose the beef oxtail bourguignon. We also decided to share the panko-crusted shrimp, another selection from the port-to-plate menu. To finish off our meal, Karen selected the carrot cheesecake bar for dessert, and I indulged in the chocolate caramel trifle. We headed over to the world stage for the evening's Q&A about our next destination, Dravuni Island. Our cruise director, Daniel, was again joined by Zandam's Learning and Development Manager, native Fijian Apelli, to give us tips and suggestions for our visit to Dravuni Island. After that, we stuck around to catch the show Takin' It Easy, performed by the Zandam's Repertory Company. They delivered an impressive lineup of songs from rock legends like Bon Jovi, Journey, and the Beatles. As always, their singing and dancing were top-notch, and it was no surprise that the world stage was always packed during their performances. We then headed back to our cabin to get ready for our adventure on Dravuni Island, and discovered another towel animal waiting for us. I think it's a turtle. See you next time. Cheers! Please be sure to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to keep up with our latest episodes. In the upcoming episode, we'll be visiting Dravuni Island in Fiji, where we'll deliver supplies to a local school, enjoy some kava, go snorkeling, eat food prepared in a traditional Fijian Lovo oven, and more.